So you say Manchester, you automatically think football. And not the pigskin football, but good old soccer. So on the day I arrived in Manchester, you know I had to get me a ticket. And man, it was awesome. They were playing against some garbage team, but to be in that legendary arena, Old Trafford, the energy was incredible, even playing against FC Astana. And the stadium was still packed. And I used to play a lot of FIFA, and the view of the field actually feels like you're playing FIFA with the same noises in the same field. The only difference is you're not controlling them, but it was an amazing experience. So I'm definitely going to come to a more high stakes game. I'm sure it'll be insane. So as y'all know, I've been making road trips to these beautiful national parks in the UK, using Manchester as my home base because of its central location surrounded by a lot of national parks. But Manchester itself is a nice metropolitan city. It's very diverse, and for it to be relatively small in size, there's actually a lot to do and see. But first things first, to make these road trips, you have to have a car. And to have a car in the UK means you're not driving on the right side of the road. You're driving on the wrong side of the road. You get the hang of it after about 30 minutes, but before that, it's pretty much like this.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not good. Not good. Ooh, bollocks. It's a total mindfuck.
So right now I'm just chilling in there Albert Square, which is just a square that's dominated by this town hall. It has a very Victorian Gothic architecture to it, and it was built in like the mid 19th century, so it's not that old. But this place is also surrounded by a lot of other buildings around that time period, so it's a cool little area. I was just on the other side, like literally a street parallel to this, and everything looks a lot more modern. Looks like this city has a lot of different sides to it, like most cities.
So Manchester's a very walkable city. You can park just about anywhere downtown and then see all the sights of the city, which is really nice. And just like any other city, they have all the different districts. You know, you got the financial district, the shopping district, and then you run into your occasional market where you get some delicious food. And of course, if it's a European city, you gotta have a cathedral.
Yo, this is the wildest shit I ever seen. So apparently spiders in Manchester get high. Check this out. Do you see this? That's a joint roach attached to a tree by spider webs. And that's pretty funny. All their advertisements here are about Top Boy, that new show on Netflix. I wonder if it's like that in the States. I imagine it's more so like that here for obvious reasons. But if you haven't seen Top Boy on Netflix, please go watch it and let me know how it is. I still haven't seen it. I heard it's good though.
So of course, if you're in Manchester, you automatically think football. Manchester United, Man City. So I had to make a stop in the National Football Museum, where there's so much great history all captured in one place. They have a couple of the Champions League and UEFA trophies, and they also have this comic book character, Roy of the Rovers. And it was about a teenager that was playing soccer, and they kept up with the magazine until the teenager went to the league, became a superstar, a Hall of Famer, retired, and he even got shot. Like, this thing was going on for like 50 years. And the museum does a great job of detailing England's football history. And of course, the coolest part, they actually have interactive activities, such as rooms where you can do penalty shootouts. So I went in there, I couldn't record, but it was pretty dope. I only scored like 2 goals out of... It's not important, but it was fun. And presenting the winner of both the UEFA League and Champions League trophies, it's Zakarias Fasika!
Brilliant.
All boy, Leroy, string you along, put on a show. No concerns, so there's no concerns. These vibrates on the same frequency. You say my pitch, you say my pitch. Never give me the blues. Positive sway, you box. Like jazz, you soothe me. Slow nail.
Manchester has an incredibly youthful spirit to it and just high energy all the time. It honestly feels like a very bold young city that's ready to erupt into a revolution at any time. It's the type of city with a bunch of thrift stores and vinyl shops. And speaking of thrift stores, you can get 1 kilo of clothing for 15 euros. So you know your boy had to rack up. And last but not least, Manchester is one of the music capitals of Europe. It's where a lot of great bands got their starts. They have a bunch of underground clubs. And if you've ever heard of the legendary party, Project Warehouse, people come from all over Europe to go to these parties. And apparently they're like raves that happen about once a month out here in Manchester. Speaking of music, I found the most incredible record store out here in Manchester. 2 floors and just music bumping the whole time. And they have records that you can play and put headphones on, so you know I had to zone out for a little bit. And of course I copped a couple records. This is my type of place. And apparently they have a lot of really good record stores all around Manchester. So with Manchester's youthful and bold energy, its musical history, legendary football teams, diversity, central location, all these beautiful national parks, this little city is definitely a gem. I'll definitely be making another trip here soon. Thanks for watching and subscribe to Afro Wonders.